The definition of mononym is a person's name consisting of one word, typically a first name without a surname. For example, the villa once belonged to the famed Florentine artist Michelangelo Buonarroti, better known by his mononym Michelangelo. So in this regard, I would put forth Elvis, Denzel, Bono, Cher. Individuals so iconic they no longer need last names. People that have accomplished so much in their fields that a surname is superfluous, veritable paragons of their disciplines. In the gravel realm, there is but one person that has yet achieved that honor. His name is Yuri. Much of the above is blatant hyperbole and totally tongue-in-cheek, but as Sigmund Freud once said, quote, there is a grain of truth in every joke. The truth in this case is that Yuri Hauswald is an icon of gravel and deserves to be included in the Hall of Fame. Yuri believes in sharing the experience of all surfaces, and as such is the founder and event director for not only his own underground local event, the Bantam Classic, but also has been instrumental in the launch and execution of many other events worldwide. The Bantam Classic, now a decade old, celebrates Yuri's home roads and is named as an homage to the Petaluma area of California. He was personally instrumental in the launch and success of Rebecca's Private Idaho. He was invited to be the test rider for the Rift gravel race in Iceland, which became an instant classic. This represents how event directors trust Yuri to give a stamp of approval on a course and gravel experience. As an athlete, Yuri exceeds the mark. While his epic win in the 2015 DK200, where he overcame epic mud conditions and clawed back a 20-minute deficit at the last checkpoint to win in a sprint finish, is the stuff of legend, his alt-surface palmares prove that he is no one-trick pony. Already an accomplished ultra-endurance mountain bike racer with multiple 24-hour escapades, solo wins, a team-based single-speed national championship, and 9th at the Solo Worlds in 2005, Yuri took to on-road surfaces like a duck to water when he first started attending and supporting the Grasshopper Adventure Series in 1995. From there, he went on to compete in every edition of Rebecca's Private Idaho, 10 of those with a second place in 2013. Completed 6 DK200/Unbound 200s, including the aforementioned win. Placed second at the inaugural version of the 350-mile Unbound XL, and came third in the Spirit World 100 in 2019. To say that his biggest win in the gravel space, the mud year of 2015 DK, was lucky is flat out wrong. It's confirmation. As a trusted member of the media for decades, Yuri has penned op-eds, event recaps, state-of-the-industry commentary, gear reviews, route recommendations, ride reflections, and insights for titles such as Velo News, Outside, Peloton, Cycling News, and many more. He's been tapped as an expert and articulate host for industry gravel podcasts, interviews, and social media insights. His experience as a member of the cycling media and a multifaceted member of the gravel community make him, hands down, the most prolific and consistent voice and face of gravel storytelling. He has also been the subject, inspiration, and creative contributor for numerous film projects that showcase the diverse and passionate reasons people ride gravel. These films illustrate how Yuri encompasses all that is beautiful about gravel, exploration, competition with self and others, love for the outdoors, and the people who share this cycling adventure with us. Perhaps the most famous mononym of all time, Plato, said it best. The measure of a man is what he does with power. Or, as Stan Lee put it, with great power comes great responsibility. In either case, it's clear that Yuri, while earning his place in gravel, has done much for all of those around him. A true champion lifts those around him on his rise, and as such is worthy of inclusion in the Gravel Cycling Hall of Fame.
Hi. Wow, this is so awesome. I am unbelievably honored to be acknowledged in this way in front of so many friends who've come out of the woodwork, so many mentors, family, inspirations, some people who have helped me along my gravel path in ways that they maybe don't even know. So I want to thank all of you, the gravel family, for being here, because this honor is as much a reflection of all of you as it is of what I have accomplished. I'd like to thank the class that came before me, right? The folks who helped start making those gravel ripples way back when, because your waves, they affected me. And they are part of the reason why I'm standing before all of you today. And to my current classmates, particularly Joel Dyke, right? And who, along with Jim Cummins, right, created the first DK after being inspired by Guitar Ted and Trans Iowa and Jeff Kirkhoff, right? Right, those guys had no ideas that those ripples in Iowa would eventually make their way out to California, but they did. You know, Miguel Crawford, as it's been mentioned, I'm super honored to have been in that Union Street parking lot way back when in Occidental 25, 26 years ago, doing that. I'd also like to tip of my hat to my Petaluma training partner, Ali, right? Petaluma, the funny thing is you have two people coming into the Gravel Hall of Fame from Petaluma, and we don't have any gravel. We don't have gravel. We ride our road bikes, so don't tell anybody. Yeah. You know, and then back to, you know, Miguel, I feel like it was almost fated or really serendipitous that, you know, he's a part of this class too, because his event had a huge impact on me. And you've heard a lot of common words tonight about community and home and friendships and pushing limits and exploring new places and trying to figure out what bike and what gear will work best. And that really sort of like laid a really amazing foundation for me that I had no idea where it would lead me. Well, it eventually led me to here. In 2013, I discovered DK, or Unbound, and it changed the trajectory of my cycling career. So, in conclusion, this honor is but a reflection of all the countless mechanics, brands. There's a lot of brand folks in here who've supported me for a long time, friends, mentors, coaches, and family who have supported me on this 30-year journey. You know, there are, you know, so many folks who have made this possible, and so I want to address a few in this room who press pause on their lives to come out here and join me for a few days, and give them a really heartfelt shout out and thank you. So first, I would just like to call out Dan Hughes for organizing a ride that we did through Sunflower Shop. Matt was generous enough to set up camp, cook dinner for a group of us, and it was just such a powerful experience. So I can't thank you more. That was the best way to come down to this induction, so thank you. I have to call out a couple of my bros that I've been with for like 25, 27 years who came out here. So this guy, DJ, he was my gateway drug into the mountain bike scene. And he actually had a clothing company way back in the day, and we met at the Napa World Cup, at the Norbas that used to be, actually the UCI World Cup in 97 or 96. He had a small clothing company called Launch. And he was a super nice guy. I was just getting into bikes, and he welcomed me in. And we have been friends for 27, 28 plus years and still love riding bikes together. And so I thank you, brother, for coming out here. Tim, or as I like to call him, Veggie T, he was my spiritual guru at my first 24-hour solo race. And you may be wondering like what that job description entails. Well, in his case, it was drinking mushroom tea and providing really inspirational words of wisdom when I would come into the pit. You know, I would come into the pit and he'd be like curled up in a ball in the pit and like a big old grin on his face or something like that. He'd be like, breathe! There's oxygen all around you. And then I'd get out of there because I didn't know what else would come out of his mouth. But that's the truth. Love you, brother. and he will be on the 50 plus 200 podium. Mark my words. And then this one is particularly special. My brother-in-law, Duncan. He was literally my first mentor, my first coach, my first Jedi. We traveled the Norbas series racing 26-inch mountain bikes when that series existed. And he also played another really important role, which was matchmaker. See, I'm one of those dirtbags that marries their best friend's sister. And this brings me to my wife of 20 years, Vanessa. Yeah. So, Vanessa, obviously, if you paid attention to I Ride for Her, that finish is the most special finish I will ever have in my whole career, not because I won, but because she was there. More than just being there, but that she was still alive. Because my wife was only given a 10% chance to live when she was diagnosed with cancer 12 years ago. And, while I'm no math major, those are pretty shitty odds, right? But you know what she did? She focused on the 10% of living and dedicated herself to fighting back with so much positivity, so much hope, so much joy, so much determination, so much grit, so much grace, that cancer didn't stand a chance. And I recognize that we're some of the lucky ones that have made it through. Not everybody does. Her living example reminds me on a daily basis that nothing I experience while racing compares to the pain, the setbacks, the fear that she's dealt with for the past 12 years. And it inspires me to keep pedaling, to keep moving forward so that I can honor all that she embodies. And that's why those words came out of my mouth when I finished that day. So, well, I forgot to say I love you. And it wasn't a given that she would actually be here tonight, too, so thank you for making the trip out here. In closing, I just want to remind all of you guys, keep making waves, right? I encourage all of you to keep doing whatever it is you love doing in this industry, and we're going to keep firing those ripples out, and they're going to build, and they're going to become these waves that inspire other people, because the next class, like Dan hinted at, they're in this room. There's people in this room that are going to be in the next class. So keep doing what you're doing, and remember that inspiration does flow both ways. Thank you very much. I'm super honored to be here.